Good morning. My name is John Countryman, but not really. Because if you consult the back of your order of service, you'll discover that I am, in fact, artificial intelligence. So, if I suddenly become more pixelated during this service, anything like that, you'll know why. But in the meantime, welcome to Unitarian Universalist Community Church. We are a welcoming congregation where we strive to transform ourselves and the world through love, wonder, and connection. And as I said, my name is Artificial Intelligence, and I serve on I use it pronouns. I could milk this forever. And I serve on the worship committee and sometimes as a greeter. Today we begin our monthly theme of renewal. Sounds good to me. As we get to the end of another church and school year, it's a wonderful time to consider the benefits of relaxation and renewal. And yes, we have a hammock. Whether you are here for the first time or the 1000th time, welcome. Whatever you are facing in your life, welcome. This is a place where we try our best to be real with one another, to get through hard things together, and to remind ourselves and one another of the values that ground and center us, that motivate and move us. Whoever you are, whatever your faith journey, whomever you love, you are welcome here. We welcome all who seek to know the sacred and all who seek to make our world more just. Our commitment is to be together in covenant, to live out our values, and to work together towards our mission. These are what makes a church. These are what make our church. The mission of this church is to transform ourselves and the world through love, wonder, and connection, which if you drove up this morning, you saw those words on the banners in the front of the church. Please rise in body or spirit to join me in our affirmation of who this community is, beginning with that all-important word. Love is the message of this church, and service is our way. This is our great covenant together, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. If you'd like a care or concern read by the minister and are unable to complete an online request during the week, please enter it into the chat, those of you who are out in Zoom. Let's join now in singing our opening hymn. We give thanks, number 1010, 1010, in our teal softcover hymnal.
Oh, My name is Reverend Sarah, and I use she, her pronouns. Will you join me in saying our chalice lighting words as John lights our chalice? In the presence of the flame, in me, in you, in us, moving, resting, gathering, we are on sacred ground. You may be seated. I invite you to join me now in the spirit of prayer or meditation to find a comfortable place for your body, whatever that may be for you, noticing your breathing, finding your center. We'll just take a moment to just be right now. As we gather today, let us think of those in Rafah and Gaza, struggling, suffering, dying. Let us hold in our hearts all who struggle and suffer because of this these unjust acts. Let us hold in our hearts today those who live with and struggle with addiction, with depression, with anxiety. And let's hold all of those who are caregiving in these times. Let's hold all who are grieving lost loved ones. Let's hold all who are celebrating too. Celebrating graduations, new lives coming to their families, marriages. There are all kinds of joys in our congregation. We also hold in love and light Sarah Long, who was admitted to the Memorial Regional Hospital yesterday due to extreme dizziness and nausea, resulting in a fall. She has no diagnosis yet, but it is in progress. So let's hold her in our heart. May we know always that we are loved, that we are good, and that we are whole. Amen. As we come together every Sunday from our own separate lives in our own separate homes, we bring with us this variety of joys and sorrows, fears and hopes. We take time in the service now to honor these big feelings, and we share this time as a contemplative time, each of us given an opportunity to share with the community what lifts us up and what weighs us down. Today, we will light candles of joy and hope to lift up the bright things in our lives, and we'll also place stones to hold our sorrows and our fears, to ease the weights from our spirits. So in a moment, I will invite you, anyone who would like to participate in the ritual, to come up. But before that, if you would like someone to light a candle for you, please raise your hand, and John will light a candle for you. Cindy. Susan. Tech Deck. Thank you. Alice. Did someone over here? Yes. Rochelle. Now, if you would like someone to put a stone for you, please raise your hand, something heavy on your heart. Thank you. Nikki. Kevin. LaShawn. Okay. So now, if you would like to do one of these ritual practices for yourself, I invite you to come up. If you come around the back to the sides and then go back up the front, if you want to do candle this side, if you want to do stone this side, and then you can switch if you need to, if you want to do both. So I invite you to come on forward as you are moved to. If you're online and you have any joys or sorrows you would like, put your name in the chat and we'll read it aloud. We light one final candle for all of those joys that lift our spirits but are yet spoken in this space. And we place one final stone for all the heavy things that are weighing those down who didn't get a chance to say or didn't want to. Please join now in our sung prayer response, There is a Love. There is a love holding me. There is a love holding all that I love. There is a love holding all. I rest in this love. There is a love holding us. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding all. We rest in this love.
Amen. And hi there. My name is Adina Danuf. I use she or they pronouns, and I'm your Director of Lifespan Religious Exploration. And today we are talking about rest when you need it. But it's hard for me to rest right now because we are officially in Pride Month. Woo! Pride Month is a time for people of the queer community to celebrate their joy and their history and their resilience. And I'll probably be talking more about this later this month, so I'm not going all into it today. But for me, it's hard to want to slow down when you're celebrating something like that. But my family and I read a book this week called Marley's Pride. Marley's Pride. It's by Joelle Retner and Deanne Wiley. And the main character, Marley, approaches some situations in a way that takes care of their needs. Kind of the way we're talking about in our service today. So I decided I'm going to share this book with you, and I want you to listen for the ways that Marley does what they need to be okay. Can we do that? Great. Okay, here we go. It's the first day of June, and our house is bursting with excitement. Happy Pride, Marley, Zaza sings as they tap, clap, and snap their way up and down the halls. My grandparent loves Pride Month. The parades, the rainbow-themed brunches, the drag story times, they just can't get enough. But for me, when I think of the crowds and the loud noises, my tummy feels squirmy and my chest feels tight. It's like something is squeezing me so hard that I can't breathe. Every year when June comes around and Zaza starts raving about the parade, it's gonna be so much fun. All our friends will be there. I can't wait to see who's performing. And every year, I find a reason not to go. If you look, they're feeling sick, they're doing some homework, they're just plain sleeping. Luckily, Zaza understands. Don't you worry, sugar. I'll bring you back something special, they say every time. The thing is, deep down, I really do want to go. When I'm alone, I pretend that I'm right there with Zaza, having a ball. This year, Zaza is getting an award for all their work helping transgender folks like us. They will even get to ride on a float, and I want to be there for all of it. If only I could figure out how to calm my nerves. Now, on the morning of the parade, while Zaza is in their room getting fabulous, I head to the bathroom and I give myself one last pep talk. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. Breathe in. Breathe out. Then I pack my essentials, my noise-canceling headphones, my fidget spinner, and of course, my lavender bunny. Okay, I'm ready, I say to myself. When we pull up to the parade, my mind starts racing. What if I get lost? What if people keep bumping into me? What if I can't find the bathroom? Zaza, I am so not ready. And just as I'm about to crawl under the seat and hide, Zaza gives me a big bear hug, and I tell them all my worries. It's okay to be scared. If you want to turn back, we can head right on home. But remember, Marley, Pride isn't just a big old party. It's about celebrating who we are, about community and love. You belong here. You aren't doing this alone. I think about Zaza's words. Fitting in can be hard for me sometimes, like when I can't choose between the boys and the girls team, or when I'm the only kid who uses they, them pronouns. I look around and I see gender-neutral bathrooms and people wearing all sorts of pronoun pins, and I realize that things might be easier here. Okay, Zaza, I'll give it a try. As we make our way through the crowds, my hands are sweating and my heart is racing. And then Zaza lifts me onto their shoulders and suddenly everything is different. I feel lighter. My heart stops thumping so hard. A gentle breeze and a cloud of bubbles kiss my cheek. Finally, I can breathe. Up here, people look a bit smaller and a little less scary. There's laughing and hugging and so much singing happening all around me. Even the flags join in the party as they dance and sway in the wind. It all seems so magical. After a while, I tap Zaza on the shoulder. I think I'm ready to come down now. We bump into some old friends and we also meet lots of new people. I'm Marley, I say. I'm Zane. This is Stacy and Keisha. I love your pronoun pins, I say shyly. Thanks, take one. I have tons of them at home, Zane insists as she hands me a few to choose from, and my heart does a double backflip when I find a they pin. It's time for the parade, and Zaza jiggles and wiggles and shakes their entire body to music. If you've ever been to Pride, that is what happens. They dance and sing with our new friends as our float makes its way through the city, and before long, the float reaches the stage. Then it hits me. I'm going to be alone while Zaza is presenting. Here come those butterflies in my tummy. Then something unexpected happens. Hey, Marley, come and join us. We saved a spot just for you, Zane shouts as they wave me over. There are goosebumps all over my arms. I can't believe it. They really like me. Good luck, Zaza, I call out as I run to join Zane, Stacy, and Keisha. Zaza steps up to the podium to get their award. Then they share their story. They talk about the joys of opening our home to those in need and helping those transitioning. They also remember Marsha P. Johnson, Sylvia Rivera, and other brave transgender heroes who weren't afraid to stand up for their community. People are clapping, cheering, and even crying. They are amazing! They are such an inspiration. Wait, are they talking about my Zaza? I get warm all over, and then my heart feels bigger. It swells and swells until it feels like it might burst out of my chest. I run over and give Zaza a huge hug. You had quite a day, Marley. How you feeling? Zaza asks with a smile. Today was a little scary and kind of hard, but it was also amazing. Finally, I understand why Zaza loves Pride. It might be loud and crowded, and people definitely bump into you a lot. But this is my community, my family. This is where I belong. No matter how I choose to celebrate, my feelings about Pride and myself won't change. Zaza, I say, gazing out into the cheering crowd, I really feel proud. And that's not the end of the story, because I really feel proud too, that I can be a part of communities like this one where I can bring all of who I am. So my challenge to you for Pride Month is to find a way to care for yourself like Marley did. Pause when you need to, bring the special things that you need, change your point of view, and find community. And you've already done the last one though, because you're here, and I'm glad. Let's head to class.
Thank you, Adina. What a lovely story, and what fabulous illustrations. Reminds me of Romare Bearden collages or something like that. Please join me today in our offering and acknowledging all the ways we give to this church and to this world. We give because this is our church, and we value what it does for us, to us, and through us to our community and our world. May there be an offering to sustain and grow the life and mission of this church inside and outside our walls. May we give in love and in hope. Thank you for your offering and all the ways you give to our life and ministry with your time, talent, treasure, and trust. Together, our gifts allow us to expand and strengthen the tapestry of love, wonder, and connection that blesses this church and transforms us and our world. Our first reading this morning is Why I Needed To. This is from Richard Blanco, a Cuban-American poet laureate and UUA Ware lecturer in 2019. Because I faithfully reply to every email from the absurd gods of urgency who punish my good deeds by leaving me empty when I empty my inbox. Because I praise hating myself, broken into my calendar's time-slotted tasks, slicing me thin with the thick duty of being everything yet nothing to anyone, not even me. Because I remember birthdays but forget my own and my mother's. Because she is bittersweet as the Cuban coffee she brews after Sunday dinners. Because she loves me only in the language of her cooking. My favorite dish, shrimp enchiladas, because of my bland father sunk in his armchair without me on his lap. Because he never told me the life story I read only in the half moons of his eyes the morning he gazed into mine, then died. And because my brother and I need to drink to share our shared hurt at happy hour, so unhappily grateful for love's wreckage. Because my husband, who's still scared of his adoration for me as we embrace sleep, Still doubts how long I'll nest my dreams in his arms, because I have never quite told him. Always. Because I'm just as afraid of needing him more than myself. Because I'm not the one I've curated on Instagram. Oh, so humbled by, so grateful for, so many posted blessings with my posed selves. Because tonight I again remember I'm nothing more than a mirage, slowly disappearing on my porch, sitting with half the life I have left, still trying to piece how I fit into the puzzle of the constellations. Because I've drunk their shots of light and too many martinis, because I'm cheering mindlessly to the moon, to my wish for immortality amid the clouds of my own cigarette smoke. Because I should finally quit doubting my life will be more than these anonymous bones, because I need to believe in something else, truer than me. That's why today I had to take myself away to the beach, because I needed to imagine my father as that father at the shore, handing a bouquet of seashells to his son, because I needed to taste that love can be simple as a mother remembering to pack sodas and sandwiches, because I needed the seagulls tending the horizon to teach me again to be as still as them, to peer calmly into the void of the skies I face, because I needed to hear the waves break and break me into the lines of this poem, because I needed to burn, to see myself shine just as beautifully as the rosy glow of the sunlight bathing my closed eyes. And this is from his From Homeland of My Body, Beacon Press, 2023, by Richard Blanco.
Okay, last week I told you a secret. This week I'm going to tell you something right up front. This sermon is radical and revolutionary. It might make people upset. And yes, the sermon is about hammocks. Actually, it's about napping. No? Okay. And it's about rejecting everything that exploitive capitalism has taught us about work. So, first, I'm going to tell you a secret. In the spirit of transparency, another secret, I fell asleep while writing this sermon. A couple of times, maybe more than that. So, in fact, I closed my eyes after typing that sentence, and then I snapped my eyes open, having just fallen asleep one more time. So instead of forcing myself to stay awake or downing a huge amount of caffeine that would make it so I got zero sleep, I allowed myself to go to bed. I allowed myself to practice what I'm preaching. Maybe, I thought, I shouldn't preach a sermon at all. That's fun. Instead, I could let you all rest. Right? You brought your pillows and your blankets and you're ready for... No? Okay. That's not what you're here for. That's not what I'm here for. Of course, if you do happen to fall asleep, that's fine. I won't be offended. But rest is best, as Daniel Tiger says. So yeah, I'm going to tell you why it's important that we rest when we need to rest, and do that even when it's not convenient, even when we're expected to push on, even when it means saying no to things that you've already agreed to do. These last several years have been traumatic, to say the least. We've all lived through some really difficult stuff. Maybe you've been raising children like I have and have struggled to find time to rest. Maybe you've lived alone and been struggling with loneliness and depression. Maybe you've lost loved ones, lived with illnesses, moved somewhere new and haven't made a strong circle of support yet. We've also been witnessing the decline of democracy and the rise of fascism in our country and the world, and we have experienced the effects of climate change and witnessed the destruction of so many lives and livelihoods. There is a lot of distress floating around. And we are, almost all of us, struggling. I hope that you've been taking time to take care of yourself. Have you been resting? Have you been doing things that bring you joy? Have you done your spiritual practice lately to help keep yourself in the present moment and not dwelling too much on the past or too much on the possible future? Have you been doing things that bring you joy? The authors, Charlie Wartzel and Anne Helen Peterson, remind us that when you get a good night's sleep, you're better at basically everything. When you take rest days, you're a better athlete. The restoration we find in hobbies can make us better partners, better friends, better listeners, better collaborators, and just overall better people. Hobbies help cultivate essential parts of us that have been suffocated by productivity obsessions and proliferating obligations. Those are their words. I wouldn't put those words together. It's hard to say. Proliferating obligations. See, I couldn't even do it. It's important to remember that we are not meant to be productive all the time. We are creatures of creativity and culture, and sometimes we are only able to appreciate culture when we rest. We're only able to be creative when we're given sufficient emptiness. When we don't rest, when we don't take time to empty our cup, it overflows, and we find ourselves beyond capacity. Sometimes this comes out as bad behavior, rudeness, judgment, dangerous driving, You might have noticed an uptick of that lately. Sometimes it comes out as illness. We push too hard and our bodies stop working. What's that saying? If you don't take time to rest, your body will take it for you. Recently, I heard a teacher say, I didn't know that the job, the stress, was making me sick until I was in the back of an ambulance. They worked so hard and rested so little that they tuned out their own body's distress until it knocked them out. Our cultural expectations have been so warped by capitalism that we cannot see the ways that we buy into them. We cannot see the ways that our bodies are suffering because of the exploitive nature of capitalism. Rest is resistance, says Tricia Hershey, creator of the NAP Ministry. Yep, it's a real thing. She goes on saying, capitalism was created on plantations during chattel slavery, and it's the same system that is driving the entire globe to exhaustion and deep disconnection with our bodies and our minds today. She calls herself the NAP Bishop. You really should look her up, she's awesome, and warns that it isn't a joke. She says, this is about more than naps. It might sound silly, but it has always been about more than taking full naps. My rest as a Black woman, she says, suffering from generational exhaustion and racial trauma, always was a political refusal and social justice uprising within my body. So I took rest and naps, she said, and slowing down as a way to save my life, to resist the systems telling me to do more, and most importantly, as a remembrance to my ancestors who had their dream space stolen from them. She repeats again, this is about more than naps. It's about a deep unraveling from white supremacy and capitalism. These two systems are violent and evil, and rest pushes back and disrupts a system that views human bodies as a tool for production and labor, an expendable resource. This is a counter-narrative. So when I speak of rest, I don't mean get more rest so you can be more productive later. I speak of rest as a radical act. I speak of rest as a reclamation. Reclaim your body as your own, not a tool of production. Reclaim your right to say no and to rest instead. When I speak of rest, I take into consideration the generations of Black Americans who are forced into laboring with their bodies long past their capacity. When I speak of rest, I consider the white families who profited off that labor. I think of my ancestors who likely owned slaves in West Virginia, and the many Black folks who carry my great-grandfather's last name. I think of my northern ancestors who didn't own slaves, but they still profited off their labor, becoming wealthy from shipping cotton from the South. I think of the generations of people who still to this day benefit from the culture of white supremacy, me included, that made it possible to enslave, who benefit from the inequities built into a culture that break human bodies for the profit of the elite. Black bodies today are still used for labor more than any other, as prisoners in an unjust judicial system, as low-paid workers, and as folks who have to work twice as hard for success in a culture that doesn't value them. So when I speak of rest, I speak of breaking systems of oppression. I speak of reclaiming our humanity. Humans are meant to be more like cats and lions than the productive ant or bee. So I say, reclaim your downtime for actual play. Do the things you enjoyed when you were a kid, when you had so much more free time. Put it on your calendar if you have to, an unmovable appointment to play, to take a class, or to paint a picture, to make an appointment to take a literal nap during the day, in your hammock maybe, or go see a movie with your best friend. What activities do you do that fill your cup? It is our divine human right to rest. And yet our culture is so steeped in productiveness that folks take the Christian sin of sloth to mean that one should never rest. Author and playwright Wendy Wasserstein even created a parody book on sloth in a series about the 7 deadly sins, a self-help book in the mode of early 2000s dieting books, which is weird, on how to embrace true sloth. On the cover is an illustration of someone in a hammock. So, to honor the intention of the book, I read it while lounging in my hammock. Although the book takes sloth to the extreme, giving up on doing anything that takes any effort other than sleeping and reading or maybe watching TV, it does speak to the need for folks to slow down. Although it is satire, there's actually some really solid advice in here. She says, I suggest for once in your life, you make the right choices. Any revolutionary from George Washington to Vladimir Lenin has famously said that the key to change is seizing the means of production. But I'm saying it in a new way here. I want you to seize the means of production in your own life and shut them down. I want you to realize, probably for the first time in your life, that you have the right to be lazy. You can choose not to respond. You can choose not to move. She meant it as a joke. I mean, obviously it's funny, but she's also right. You do have the choice to seize the means of production and shut it down. You do have the right to be lazy and not move when it's right for you not to do so. This has been a valid form of protest for more than 100 years. Strikes shut down the means of production to make changes for the betterment of the people. Unions are coming back more and more, and people realize they do have the power, coming together to demand the right to rest, to demand the right to get paid enough to rest. What is life without downtime? What is life without rest and play and fun? As Wartzel and Peterson explain, we love to talk about kids' personalities, how unique and weird and joyful they are. They really are. We don't actually grow out of those characteristics so much as subsume them with duties, but they remain the building blocks of our humanness, the enduring difference between us and the AI robots. We must preserve those inclinations towards delight and whimsy, toward the ineffable and the unimpressive, the feelings you can't recreate with a machine or optimize for peak productivity. They are worth rediscovering, not because they will allow us to rest and as such make us better workers, but because they anchor us to who at heart we have always been. So let us embrace play, embrace rest, and reclaim who we have always been. Amen. Blessed be. I invite you now to join in singing our closing hymn. You may rise in body or spirit. We are singing Sleep My Child, number 409 in the gray hardback hymnal. Sleep, my child, and peace attend. in preparation for our closing. Reach out to those around you. If you feel comfortable holding hands, that is wonderful. If not, let that be known. When you go, play, rest, and renew yourself. When you go, go in peace. Salam and shalom.
Leave this place knowing that you are good and knowing that you are loved.
Blessed be. Take your dark and your light and your love from this place and share them with the world. And stay safe till we meet again. Amen. Thank you, everyone. Have a good week.